Melania Trump mirrors Michelle Obama as Trump dismantles Obama's legacy. Melania Trump is said to be borrowing from Michelle Obama's playbook today, keeping the former First Lady's legacy alive. While Melania appears to be honoring the contributions of Michelle Obama, her husband is sweeping the floor clean of any crumbs left behind from the Obama White House, suggests a report on Fox News. Not only is Melania said to be keeping a watch over the vegetable garden, which was a pet project of Michelle's, but Fox sees Melania borrowing some of the former First Lady's fashion styles. Melania Trump's bare arms and belted waist is something new according to Fox. Mrs. Trump hardly ever wore sleeveless or belts during the presidential campaign but has been wearing them a lot lately. Mrs. Obama popularized both looks, the report suggests. The key to that last sentence may be campaign trail. Much of the time Melania stood by her husband at his speeches and rallies while he campaigned for president was done during winter months. Many of the earlier campaign travels in the fall had Melania spending a good deal of time outside. Sleeveless attire is usually reserved for warmer weather unless of course, you are a female Fox News on-air personality, many of whom don sleeveless dresses all winter long. Today Melania is seen in mostly sleeveless dresses and blouses when stepping out in the August heat in Washington, D.C., but she doesn't have Michelle Obama to thank for this. Melania doesn't need to follow Michelle's lead on dressing, the new First Lady has become a fashion icon. Michelle Obama never achieved that level of fashion while in the White House. This latest report from Fox News also claims that Melania has shown some interest in women's empowerment issues, military families, and issues regarding children. Again, they suggest that these were Michelle Obama's interests first. Many of these are the interests on the top of the list for most Americans, and Melania Trump realizes this, so she's honing in on these very important issues. They also mention that Mrs. Trump, much like Mrs. Obama, will lead the U.S. delegation to the Invictus Games. This is Britain's Prince Harry's creation, and the Obama White House supported these games for wounded military personnel, and now Melania Trump will too. This will be an event that First Ladies of this nation will most likely be involved in forever. Prince Harry started these games during the Obama administration. If he had started them during the Bush administration, Laura Bush would have been the first to lead the U.S. delegation. Very much like the Easter egg hunt on the White House lawn, this is something that First Ladies are traditionally involved in. To say Melania is mirroring Michelle Obama is ridiculous. She is filling the shoes of America's First Lady, not Michelle Obama. According to the Invictus Games Foundation, at the beginning of 2014, Prince Harry founded the Invictus Games, an international sporting event for injured servicemen and women. Harry became heavily involved in helping people wounded in the military after first visiting the American Warriors Games. Melania Trump also mirrors Michelle Obama by walking across the same floors in the White House as the former First Lady did before her. You can say this too if you are making comparisons, but it makes no sense. It makes about as much sense as Melania donning sleeveless tops due to Michelle Obama. Melania Trump is a former model, and she has sported sleeveless attire probably more often than Michelle Obama ever has. As far as the vegetable garden, Melania agreed to keep the garden in place for Michelle Obama. She's not donning farmer jeans and weeding the rows of vegetables. Wearing a belt, this is said to be another borrowed look from Michelle Obama. If Melania Trump borrowed that look from Michelle Obama, then she also borrowed the look from Mrs. Smith down the street, who is also often seen in a belt. This is almost as ludicrous as saying Melania Trump has taken to wearing shoes because Michelle Obama doesn't like to go barefoot. If Melania Trump suddenly had a tendency to show up in a fascinator, the type of tiny hat made famous by Kate Middleton, then you might be able to say Melania is borrowing a page from Kate Middleton's playbook. But to say that Melania gets dressed every day, so she is borrowing a page from Michelle Obama's playbook, is such a stretch that it really doesn't make sense. This video created by News 200 and